Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope everyone is doing well at home. I'm your teacher Simin Amer, and today I'm here again with another lecture. This is my lecture number 5 for one of my best classes is grade 01, and today we will do history, and year code is 2059. So let's continue with chapter number 11, which is the early problems of Pakistan soon after partition. In the previous lectures, we learned about many problems that Pakistan faced soon after its partition. And I told you about the Radcliffe Award, which was like a boundary commission, and they divided the Indian territory into Pakistan and India, and that was unjust according to Muslims, according to Hindus, and even according to Sikh community. Then was the geographical problems. Geographical problem was like Pakistan was divided into two wings, and these two wings were thousands of meters apart, and there were some political problems, economical problems, social problems. Social problems, I told you that in a single state we were gathered with so many different societies or so many different cultures, so many different people like Pathan, Baluchis, Sindhis, Punjabis, Bengalis, all were different. So that was a social problem for us. And accession of the princely state. There were more than 600 princely states, and accession was another problem because many of the territories were like Muslim territory area, but the it was Hindu, or the area which had the Hindu majority population but had the Muslim rulers. That was again a problem, and especially the Junagadh, Hyderabad, and Kashmir that became the mainstream for the problem, or we can say for the enmity between the Pakistan and India. Then again was the division of financial assets and as well as the military assets, and the canal water dispute. You know about it. Let me give you a glance of all these problems in a video.
This lecture discusses the initial problems faced by Pakistan after independence. Everything had to be built from scratch. The initial problems of Pakistan include political problems, new administration, division of assets, integration of princely states, communal riots and arrival of refugees, canal water dispute and trade issues, economic problems and social problems. Let's discuss each of these in a little more detail. First is political problems. Pakistan faced political problems due to lack of experienced lawmakers. They were mostly feudal lords. Next is the problem of new administration. In the new country, there was a shortage of human power, especially senior officers. The senior officers did not want to come to Pakistan as it was underdeveloped. There was a lack of building for the administrative workers, lack of furniture and equipment. Next is division of assets. When the assets were to be divided, the actual share of Pakistan was 750 million. Military assets were also divided. 6 armored divisions were given to Pakistan, while India got 14. 8 artillery divisions were given to Pakistan, while India got 40. And 8 infantry divisions were given to Pakistan, while India got 21. Another problem was regarding the princely states. There were 560 princely states in the subcontinent before independence. Almost 500 joined India. 3 of them were discussed in detail in the lecture. Junagadh had a Muslim ruler, and the majority of the population was Hindu. Indian forces entered and annexed it with India. Hyderabad was ruled by a Muslim named Nizam. He wanted to keep Hyderabad independent from India and Pakistan. However, India again seized it. Kashmir. Kashmir was the most crucial state. A Maharaja ruled it while the majority of its population was Muslim. After the war in 1948, Kashmir was split into two parts. India has half of Kashmir, which is called Indian Occupied Kashmir, and the other half is under Pakistan, known as Azad Kashmir. Communal riots and refugee crisis. After the independence, when the Muslims were migrating towards Pakistan, they were attacked by extremist Hindus and Sikhs, and thousands of Muslims were massacred. The people who reached Pakistan alive were the refugees. It was quite challenging for the new country to cater to several needs of the refugees. Water dispute. Another problem was the water. In 1948, there was a water dispute between India and Pakistan as India stopped the water from Ravi and Satluj. It was a threat to the already fragile economy of Pakistan. This matter was taken to the World Bank. In 1960, the Indus River Treaty was signed, according to which Ravi and Satluj and Beas came under India, and Chenab and Jhelum and Indus came under Pakistan. Economic problems. Pakistan faced many economic problems at the time of independence due to its weak economy. The war in Kashmir, the issues of refugees, and the water dispute created problems for Pakistan. The economy was weak as the industrial enterprise was 10%, industrial workers were 0.5%, electrical capacity was 5%, and mineral deposits were 10%. Social problems. Many groups imposed social pressures at the time of formation of Pakistan. These included Pakhtuns, Balochis, Sindhis, Punjabis, and Bengalis.
So that was all about the previous lectures. Let's come to today's topic, which is on page number 116, and that is refugees and the accommodation crisis. So the partition displayed between 10 to 12 million people along religious lines, thus creating overwhelming refugees crisis in the newly constituted Dominion states. In the years immediately before a partition, there was widespread violence between the Muslims and the non-Muslim communities across India. Even before partition, they went on war, or we can say they went in a violence between the Muslims and non-Muslims. And although Congress and Muslim League called for calm, the summer of 1947 was rioting, which led to numerous deaths. When the boundary accord was announced in August 1947, things became even more worse. Millions of people found themselves living in the wrong side and became victims of communal attacks. The only answer was the Muslims to move into Pakistan and non-Muslims to move into India. So began what perhaps was the largest migration ever witnessed in the history of mankind, and also some of the worst scenes of communal violence. The emergence of Pakistan after a long and arduous freedom movement was in fact a great victory of the democratic idea of life. It was after a long and arduous freedom. So arduous means a difficult freedom movement, or you can say a tiring freedom movement, which was a fact of great victory of the democratic idea of life. And that partition had been made along religious lines in the hopes of easing the tensions between Muslims and Hindu communities. Instead, it made matters worse. Over 10 million people had moved from India to Pakistan or in the other direction by January 1948. The Indian Muslims happily and valiantly laid down their lives and properties to achieve a destination in which they saw the fulfillment of their dreams of living an independent life free from Hindus and British dominance. They laid down their lives happily and valiantly. Valiantly means with courage, or we can say with determination. So they moved willingly, taking as many of their possessions with them as they could. But you know, dear students, Some of the people fled from violence and often arrived in their new country with nothing at all. On 15 August 1947, Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah Alayh said, "My thoughts are those valiant fighters in our cause who readily sacrificed all they had, including their lives, to make Pakistan possible." But from its very inception, from its very, we can say, beginning, or with the establishment of Pakistan, Pakistan faced large number of problems. Impact and aftermath of partition, the partition of British India left both India and Pakistan devastated. Like this is the aftermath, or we can say the consequences of partition, that India and Pakistan were destroyed. Riots erupted and looting broke out widespread. Dear students, you can see the last para in your book on page number 116 that the violence was sometimes orchestrated by the local authorities. You know what is orchestrated? It is like it was arranged, it was planned by the local authorities. And many Muslim historians believe that the Hindus and Sikh community had an organized program for the massacre of Muslim refugees. In the non Muslim princely states, there were examples of state troops being used to support attacks on Muslims. So they used their military assets, they used their military troops. It is also true, however, that atrocities were carried out. Atrocity means the revenge. From the Muslim side, it was a bloody revenge, and that was carried out by Muslims as a tide of communal hatred swept across the subcontinent in late 1947. Many women were raped and battered by both the Hindus and the Sikh community, and trains full of these injured women and children would arrive at the borders of Pakistan daily. Estimates for the death toll vary considerably, but it is likely that as many as 1 million men, women, and children died as a result of this violence or the rigors of the long journey. Nearly 20 million people were made homeless, and both India and Pakistan faced enormous problems as huge numbers of refugees fled to them for safety. Karachi alone received nearly 2 million refugees in 1947. Over 15 million refugees were forced into regions completely new to them. Even though they shared the same religion of their new home, they still had not lost the bond of to the region their family and ancestors grew up in. Some of the problems were deliberately created by the British authorities. The provinces of Bengal and Punjab were divided, causing outrage or causing anger in many Muslims, Hindus, and Sikh community. Not surprisingly, it was extremely difficult for these people to be accommodated. Pakistan, in particular, as a new and not wealthy country, did not have the necessary facilities to house millions of new citizens. Even after almost 6 decades after the partition, India and Pakistan have still not healed from the wounds left by the partition. India and Pakistan have been to war twice since the partition, and Pakistan suffered the Kherson War of the breaking away of East Pakistan in two. On the birth of Pakistan, Hindus and Sikhs became more furious. In a planned move, Muslim properties and living Muslims were set on fire, and they were compelled or they were forced to leave India for Pakistan with nothing. Some of these refugees were so distressed and so much in pain by their hardships, and they turned on the local population of different religions. Like they started killing of many different people from different religion that were living there. That was the local population. In September 1947, the authorities in Delhi had to declare martial law as non-Muslim refugees had begun a slaughter of local Muslims. The most accurate number of casualties were 2,50,000 as dead, and about 6.5 million refugees came to Pakistan, the then West Pakistan. In these haunted hours, Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah Alayhi made an exotic speech to restore faith and confidence. And he said, "You may belong to any religion, caste, or creed. That has nothing to do with the business of the state. We are starting in the days when there is no discrimination, no distinction between one caste or creed and another. We are starting with this fundamental principle that we all are equal citizens of one state." Millions of refugees were killed before they reached Pakistan. Many migrants were looted and had to be provided boarding immediately as they reached Pakistan. By the end of 1947, India and Pakistan were so concerned about the communal violence that they began to cooperate in trying to control it. This led to more orderly evacuation, or we can say shifting of refugees from one country to the other. But it did not completely end the violence. So, dear students, we are done with the chapters, and here is your assignment. And the assignment is the exam type question, question number C on page number 117. And the question is: was the refugee crisis the greatest problem that Jinnah faced in governing Pakistan in the year 1947-48? Give reasons for your answer, and you know the question is for 14 marks. So you have to create your answer, which should be um, for the length should be of 2 pages, and you have to give your own view as a conclusion, but you have to start with the problem of refugee crisis, and then you know that there were so many problems soon after partition, so you can give all these problems, and in conclusion you can give your own view. And for your answer you have to give reasons, like whatever you are saying you have to give reason with each problem, that why you're supporting this. So this is your assignment. I hope you have enjoyed the lecture. So once again, thank you so much, dear students, for watching this video. I've tried my level best to explain everything in this chapter. I hope everything will be clear to you now, but still, if you have any problems, any queries, drop your questions or queries in the comment box. I'll reply you inshallah soon, and we'll meet you again in the next lecture. Till then, bye.